Hey guys, what's up? Quick video for you today. I've been wondering, can Bushcraft also be ultralight? So what I did is I loaded up my pack with the bare minimum that I feel like I would be comfortable carrying, with stuff that I need for comfort, stuff that I would need just for, you know, certain tasks or whatever. I'll get into the specifics of why I have certain things in my pack here in a few minutes. But I bought a digital luggage reader. So scale's the word, not reader. So it kind of goes like this. Anyway, it'll give me an exact reading on how much my pack weighs when it's fully loaded. And that way there's no more guessing, estimations. I don't have to spend a bunch of time loading things on a lighter pack because I'm not counting grams or really even ounces. I just kind of want to know where I'm at. So it's important to note that there will be some things that will be on the pack that won't get weighed right now. Well, there's one thing, and that is the tripod that I'm using right this second. So I weighed that prior to starting this video, and my tripod weighs 13.6 ounces. It extends up to something like 4 feet, and it's just what I've been using to make these videos. Sometimes I carry a selfie stick, but I think I'm axing that out of my gear because I just haven't really been using it. Also, things that don't count in the weight, things like trekking poles, so things you're carrying on you, like your clothes and such, don't count as far as pack weight because it's not in your pack. You know, like my knife, for instance, will be on my belt, not in my pack. So I've been using this Osprey Levity 45. If you're watching my videos, you've seen it, or if you haven't watched my videos, I don't know why you're watching this one. So it's loaded up, everything I need, 45 liters. I still have a ton of space. Right out of the gate, you can see I have a Grancer's Brux axe right here. But I'm gonna weigh this real quick and see where we're at. So all we do is slip this guy through here. So with everything in this pack, it's at 13.52 pounds. So 13.5 pounds. I feel like that's pretty good. There's also no water and no food in this pack, but it has everything else. So what we'll do is we'll start with the outside. So my small forest axe. Now, this is something I don't always take on backpacking trips, but that's more for like where I'm more hiking and stuff, as opposed to wanting to do any type of bushcraft type tasks. So if I'm gonna be processing wood and such like that, I'm bringing this guy. It's also one of my favorite things to use. So for a water container, smart water bottle, now I have a lot of options. I just got an Nalgene, for instance, for Christmas. It's my first one. I have a few stainless steel bottles as well. Or I could use, I have a water bladder that I could put in this. But that is the lightest option, and that's what I've been using lately. So sometimes I carry 2, but I really think I could do with 1, including with what I have in here. So at the top of my pack, it's called the brain of a backpack. On some of my trips recently, I've stopped using a possibles pouch, or in the hiking community call them ditty bags, and I've just been using the brain for that. Because if I don't, then it's just empty anyway. So I may as well just utilize this. So there's a ton of crap in here, so I figured we'll just go through that real quick. Open it up. Right out of the gate. Just some plain old leather gloves. They have a carabiner, so I can clip them to my belt loop. Something I definitely wouldn't bring on a hiking specific trip is a wood carving kit. So I have a spoon knife and a whittling knife in here. And so if I'm doing a bushcraft style kit, I'm probably gonna end up doing some whittling. I mean, I might even bring this on a hiking trip because this is what I like to do when I'm at camp. I think Horace Kephart is the one that said, camp time is whittling time. Don't quote me on that, but I think that's one of his quotes. And it's just something I've gotten into, and it's fun. And I mean, I don't know how much this weighs, but for me it's not a lot. For some, it would be a lot, but it's what I like to do. So, my spoon, it's a Toaks long handle titanium spoon. My Nightcore headlamp, 360 lumens. You know, some guys still carry 300 lumens, you know, like Josh, I don't know, 360, that's where it's at. That's like a joke from our Florida Bushcraft Facebook page for anybody that's not on there. Leather strobe for tool maintenance. One once again, bushcraft oriented stuff. So I'm big on tool maintenance, so I'm gonna bring it. What's next? In here in this little bag is just toilet paper and a deuce of spades. So I just started using a deuce of spades a few months back. I never really, I just used a stick to dig a hole, and that was good. But once I tried one, I was like, wow, that makes all the difference in the world. And all right, my water filtration is the CNOT bag with the Sawyer squeeze in there, and this is just one of my daughter's hair ties. Holds it all together. So, water filtration. What's next? Ooh, this is also new from Christmas. This is a Lixada titanium twig stove. So I think it's 4.6 ounces for anybody that cares about the weight, you know, and it's like your standard size twig stove. I haven't got to use it yet, but on my next trip I absolutely will. So I switched out my gas stove for this to see how I like it. Just a ton of paracord. One of these is, this one has prusik knots on it, so it's already rigged up for a ridgeline for a tarp, which I don't even have, but just because it's a good hank of paracord, I'm bringing it. And then one long one plus a couple small things like this, just like utility cord. The long one is what I hang my food up with. This is my Anchor charger. So this charges my headlamp, my phone, like electronics. So it's got the charger and the cables in here. Baco Laplander. Do not leave home without it, ever. Tent stakes. I could easily just make these, but my tent takes 8 stakes to prepare. And I used to always do that. I never used to take tent stakes with me, and I would just make them when I got to camp. And like, it's not that big of a deal. I could, but I'd rather spend that, say, 20 to 30 minutes doing something else. So I just started using tent stakes. I think that's it, except for the Big Mama Jamma, which is whatever that was. My giant ferro rod with some duct tape wrapped around it. If I take one of my other knives that has a fire steel holder, there's a ferro rod in that, then I might leave this at home. But the fact of the matter is, this, because it's bigger, it just throws a lot better sparks. It's just easier to use, and you can club people with it. You know, people get out of line, you just, you know. And that's pretty much it for the outside of the pack. Sometimes, if I think the weather's going to be bad, this outside pocket, there's nothing in here right now, but I'll throw my my rain poncho in there. Or if the weather's good and I'm on the hike out, I usually stuff my tent in here as opposed to back in a stuff sack. Kind of don't like using this. So the stuff in my pack is in stuff sacks right now, but I pretty much don't use those on a bushcraft or hiking trip or anything anyway. I just put them in the stuff sacks to make it easier for the video. And I could really use a much smaller pack. I mean, this thing is cinched all the way down. There's still tons of room. They say that if you have more room, you'll find a way to fill it up, but I think I'm doing pretty good. Let's open this bad boy up. All right, right at the top is Frog Tog's rain poncho. This is light. I think it's around 8 or 9 ounces or something. I can't remember. I've weighed it before, but I don't know. These things are something like $8–10-ish at Walmart, and it's kind of hard to find a lighter rain poncho. And also, it's fairly durable. I've used this as a ground sheet, a sit pad, so just spread out. And so instead of taking a sit pad like a Z, what do you call it, Z-seat or things like that, I have this anyway. I just spread it out and I lay on it, and I'm done. Good to go. Next, my shelter. I always keep my tent at the top because it's the first thing I pull out of camp and just set up real quick. And for the last however many months, I've been using the Meyer Lanshan 2. Maybe at some point I might drop back down to a one-person shelter for when I'm going with just myself. But this thing is great when it's myself, my kid, or me, these two bozos. And if I'm by myself, I mean, I can just spread eagle out, buddy. I knocked a bunch of stuff over. What's next? my pillow. Sea to Summit inflatable pillow. That's an every camping trip thing. This is my new Air Uberlight. I just weighed this. This is the big one, the large wide, and it was it 12 ounces ish. Real lightweight. It's nice. Back out of there. We're running out of stuff. My cook pot, Tox Titanium 750. I was thinking, man, can I get rid of this thing? And if I did, the lid wouldn't stay on, and I do use the lid. I feel like the water boils faster. But on the last trip, I used this thing to actually scrub the inside of my pot out. I cooked, I think it was mashed potatoes or something in it. And so yeah, it's the holder, and also worked with the scrubby. That would be kind of gross, like stuff I pack. But this was in a food bag, so I wasn't too worried about it. That's the other thing, I don't have a food bag in here either. That would be the extra thing. So, I have, got it. And Enlightened Equipment 40-degree quilts. This is like 17 ounces. I think it's probably a little better than 40 degrees, but that's what it's rated for. So that's what I have to say. And this thing can compress down smaller. When I pack this up, all this stuff goes in like a trash bag or something for waterproofing. And this goes in first. Cram it all down in there, and it takes up all the nooks and crannies and dead airspace, which is the point of not using stuff sacks. Also, you shed that 2-3 ounces of your stuff sacks if you're that into counting ounces. I guess if I was going to hike the AT with Will, I would probably be counting all the ounces and such. But this is like a gear loadout for a bushcraft trip locally in an environment that I'm familiar with and comfortable in. So for a single overnight, or maybe even 2 days, the only thing I'm bringing, I mean, I haven't taken the tags off this yet, is extra pair of socks, extra pair of underwear, and that's it. I'll have a clean shirt in my car for when I hike out, because inevitably, you know, after you leave, you stop somewhere and get like a drink or something. But that's pretty much it. Look how dirty my pack is from being used. That's the whole kit and caboodle with this setup here. I would feel more than comfortable doing a couple nights in Florida. It would probably be mostly backpacking meals, and yeah, I don't think I'd really need anything else unless it was like some kind of specific trip, like we went somewhere, say, to go fishing, so I'd have to add fishing gear to this, or if we knew we were going to build something extravagant, maybe a bigger saw rather than my Baco. But this right here is just, for me, is a no-nonsense backpacking camping style trip where I could get to camp, do some projects, be comfortable at night, and do well and not kill my shoulders back on the hike out. So anyway, I think that's all I got for you. If anything you think that I need to add to this or I should take out, you know, please feel free, leave a comment if you have a gear suggestion or something you think that works better. You know, just let me know. So ultimately, can bushcraft also be ultralight? I mean, I don't know. I think it might be a little too heavy to be counted as ultralight, but it's certainly a lot lighter than some loadouts that I see, and I think I can accomplish all the same tasks as a lot of those guys. So anyway, I hope you liked the video. Let me know what you think. Talk to you guys later.